And then I asked him, well, why did you pay this Jodie Chandler millions? And he immediately said, and this is under deep hypnosis, he said, I couldn't take it anymore. I had enough. To me, this was a personal validation that the man was innocent, and innocent he was found to be.
About his companionship with this chimp Bubbles. We heard about the fact that he would wear masks in public places and this sort of thing. Then there was the Martin Bashir documentary, and so it's been, what we've seen is a gradual erosion, if you like, of the enormous support that he built up for himself through his musical genius, and I think that really is very sad.
The Neverland Ranch, the sort of aura of unworldliness that he created for himself. Anthony, tell us a little bit about that. That is not so atypical of someone in his position, is it?
Well, I think, if at the age of, when you're not even in double digits as a child and you're already, a superstar and the supporter of your family and all those things, it's as if given a world in which you could realize all those kind of childlike
candelabras that looked like something out of a haunted house, and another room that was all very feminine dolls with doll carriages, and just chock-a-block everywhere you looked with stuff that's out of a child's imagination. And this is the space he lived in. It just gave you a window into how different his experience was from anyone else on this planet. Really remarkable.
Alan, thoughts on this?
Well, I think, again, you can see that there was this heightened, this idealized vision of childhood because he never had a childhood. He never was not on stage. He never was not in the spotlight. And
heart attack that it's understood that he may have died from, but of course the cause of that hasn't been made clear yet. We have heard from various sources that he had undergone a recent medical screening which had declared him healthy, so of course many questions still to be asked.
Much more coverage, of course, of that breaking news, the death of Michael Jackson at the age of 50, coming up throughout the night here on BBC News.
The king of pop, Michael Jackson, has died. The singer suffered a cardiac arrest and was taken to a medical center in Los Angeles. New pictures show paramedics transporting the 50-year-old star from his home in LA. And tributes pour in from around the world. His close friend Uri Geller tells the BBC of his sadness.
I'm absolutely devastated and shocked. I really have no words. He was getting ready for the performances in England.
Meanwhile, fans flock to the medical centre where the singer is taken to pay their respects and wait for more news. Hello and welcome to BBC News. We're broadcasting to viewers in the UK and around the world. I'm Alistair Yates. Well, the pop star Michael Jackson has died in Los Angeles. He was 50. Paramedics were called to his home in Hollywood after he suffered a suspected heart attack. He was rushed to hospital but reportedly never regained consciousness. Crowds are gathering at the hospital and at his home. The news of his death has been greeted with shock and disbelief, with tributes coming in from show business stars across the world.
For his fans, his friends and his followers, the news...
Morning, our breaking news this hour, the pop star Michael Jackson is dead. The 50-year-old singer was taken to hospital after suffering a suspected heart attack at his Los Angeles home. Doctors were unable to revive him, and in the past hour, he was pronounced dead. The Los Angeles coroner says a post-mortem examination is expected to take place on Friday, while his death has left fans around the world in shock. These are the scenes at UCLA Hospital in Los Angeles, where Michael Jackson was pronounced dead earlier on tonight. Hundreds, if not thousands of people are streaming to the site to pay their respects to the pop star who passed away this evening from a cardiac arrest. You can see the people streaming into the site there. As long as the media crews, it's expected that this place will, for the moment, become a shrine to those fans who want to pay their respects and be a part of an event which will go down in the cultural history of the United States. Well, let's just remind you of the events which took place this evening. At 12:21 p.m. local time in Los Angeles, a Los Angeles fire crew was called, paramedic crew was called to the home of Michael Jackson. And these are pictures, it's believed, of that fire crew arriving at the scene, played out earlier on Hollywood TV. Well, it's thought that the pop star had suffered a cardiac arrest. Crews there tried to resuscitate him, but unfortunately failed to do so. They rushed him to hospital at the UCLA hospital in Los Angeles. There, he was pronounced dead. We also have a still picture of what's believed to be Michael Jackson being stretchered into the hospital. This has all come in, broken on the TMZ entertainment website in the United States. Well, it took around 45 minutes for other news agencies to confirm the fact that Michael Jackson had suffered a cardiac arrest, and the paramedic teams confirmed with the Los Angeles Times sometime later that Michael Jackson, the 50-year-old pop star, had died. We know that his family rushed to be by his bedside. Hollywood legend Elizabeth Taylor, who was a close friend of Michael Jackson, was also at the hospital. The TMZ website reported that when he was rushed into the site, the people with him, it's not clear if that was family or friends, were screaming, "Please save him, please save him." Robert Nisbet, our US correspondent, has been following events in Washington. Robert, we were speaking to you a little earlier, and we were saying it's going to clearly become a shrine for people who want to pay their respects to Michael Jackson as this news slowly sinks in there.
That's right, not just outside the UCLA Medical Center, but I'm seeing reports that also
the death of Michael Jackson.
Oh, Ted, I just want to mention the interview you were just talking about. I just want to read something that the spokesperson said a short time ago to CNN. He said the people who have surrounded him being Michael Jackson, have been enabling him. If you think that the case of Anna Nicole Smith was an abuse, it is nothing in comparison to what we've seen taking place in Michael Jackson's life. That's in stark contrast to the kind of things we normally hear from a Jackson family spokesperson.
Absolutely. Over the years covering Michael Jackson, every time something came up, whether it was when he showed up in his pajama bottoms during the child molestation trial in Santa Barbara County, obviously days, or when he was taken to the hospital previously, the company line from the family, from everybody, from the spokespeople were, Michael is fine. These rumors are false. Today, obviously in a distressed mode, the family attorney saying that clearly wasn't the case, especially over the last few months. Jackson relocated here to Los Angeles, preparing for that upcoming tour. He's been in Los Angeles since about May, moving from Las Vegas, and according to his attorney, he may have been abusing prescription drugs, which may, of course, a big may, have helped lead to his death. But extraordinary information coming from inside the Jackson camp, and as you alluded to, something you usually do not hear.
Yeah, the spokesman said he had had a broken vertebrae and had broken his leg from a fall on stage. And we're looking at a live shot now. That's outside the hospital. How many people do you think have gathered there, Ted? What is the scene? Are they just kind of milling around, waiting for word, or why are they there?
He, the king of pop, as he was dubbed by Elizabeth Taylor, of course, but he was a father. Election.
Thing that is going to remain with him and perhaps be a stain on his memory, but besides that, he's got to be remembered as just as an entertainer who changed popular music and entertainment, and also as one of the greatest African American pop figures in the history of the United States or anywhere else.
Rob Reynolds, thanks very much, Rob. And let's get a sense now from John Terrett, who's in New York, about just how people there are remembering Michael Jackson. John.
Gita, if you want any proof
that the death of Michael Jackson at 50 is a major international story. Very different from the kind of story that we tend to deal with on a daily basis on this channel, but a major international story nonetheless. Then you have to look no further than here in Times Square, because surrounding me right now are hundreds of New Yorkers and holidaymakers who are here from not only this city, but all over the country and indeed all over the world. And this is testament to the fact that Michael Jackson was and has been for the past 40 years a major international star.